Let's code, people. Okay, let's code. So line number 1, we have the word DEF, and then we're going to calculate underscore, and these are the same as variables. Subroutines, if they are 2 words, they must have an underscore in between or just become 1 word. Average, which is the total, and the count as the parameters. So here on line number 1, we have calculate average as our subroutine name and total and count as the variables that we're passing into the subroutine. And this subroutine is going to return the total divided by, or forward slash, the count. Divided by in Python is different to the divided by in maths, where you've got the line and the 2 little dots in maths. In Python, it is the forward slash. Before we move on, I'll add the T to the total, and we can move down to then writing the main program. Marks underscore total equals 210, and there are 3 students, and then we have the average, which equals, we're going to write our subroutine name, calculate underscore average, which is going to be assigned to the word average, where the marks total underscore total is going to be passed in with the students and the value that's returned is going to be the total divided by the count. So we have to print out, and we can concatenate this, the class average, and then comma is the average, because average has been assigned to the subroutine name where we're passing in the variables 210 and 3 as total and count. Let's see what happens when we run the program. So the class average is 70. So let's work this out. 210 divided by 3. So what's essentially happening is 210 is going straight into total and 3 is going in as count. We have total as 210 divided by 3, and we can work that out. 210 divided by 3 is 70. It comes back as a float value, which is fine. And usually what happens with division sums is they do come back as float values, even though it hasn't been assigned as a float value. That's just what happens in Python. Now that we've run our program, it'd be good to have a play around and see what we can do with the program. Rather than having fixed input values, what we could potentially do is try and change these into input values that we enter rather than defined input values. So let's have a quick look at how we could potentially do this. I'd like you to try it before I give it a go. So pause the video and try and do some input values for marks, total and students, and see if you can get the program running. Okay, let's have a go. So let's do marks total. It is an integer. Input, and then let's say enter the total marks, 2 brackets at the end, and then rather than 3 students, we're going to label this as an integer. Input, enter the number of students. Let's see what happens when we run this. Enter the total marks. So let's see how many marks. Let's say this is a full class of students. So we're going to go 1,346 marks. Okay. Enter the number of students. We're going to say 27 students are in the class. Okay, we've got a class average of 49.85185 and so on and so forth. This works so far. So currently we've got a huge decimal value as our average. We can stop this happening by entering another function into this line of code here, where we've got our average outputting. What we can do is we can round the value to a number of decimal places by specifying the number of decimal places we want to round it to. So we can go average, and if we want it to 2 decimal places or 3, we can round it up or down to that value. I'll show you how this works. If we just do it to 3 and then run the program, we can enter the number of marks and the number of students, and it rounds it to 3 decimal places rather than the large value that we had. What I want to do is, rather than having it to 3, I'm going to round it to 0 decimal places. So it should come back as a float value, but it should be a whole number float value. So if I do the same sum, 1, 2, 3, 4 marks and 27 students, before we had 3 decimal places, now we have a whole value. So we can specify the class average was 46, which it just makes things a little bit simpler. The round function is a useful function to have when you're dealing with float values and divisions. The last thing I wanted to demonstrate with this program was using a local variable within the subroutine function. So here I'm going to enter a local variable just for demonstration purposes really, but if you enter this with me as well, I'm going to call this local, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it an integer and allow us to input an extra value into this calculation. So I'm going to put enter extra student marks, and this is just a demonstration. And what I'm going to have to do is when the return value returns, I'm going to have to add on the local variable marks that are gained by this one student. I'm going to have to put this in brackets as well, because I want this to happen first before it's divided by the count. So if we run this, this is our local variable here. It only exists within the subroutine rather than outside the subroutine, which makes it quite easy. If I make a mistake, I can tweak it. If I want to change the name, I can change it quite really easily because it exists only within this subroutine. So if I press the run button, I'm going to do the same sum just to show you exactly what happens. So if I enter the number of students as 27 like I did before, it then prompts me to enter the extra student marks. Now this extra student is an absolute genius. They scored 600 marks. So when I hit the OK button, what do you think the average is going to go up or down? Before it was 46, I think. Okay, let's hit the OK button. So yeah, you can see that the average has been rounded up and it's gone up to 68 rather than 46.